Hi everyone, welcome to your reading session today. We've got two different reading sessions this week. Today's session is thinking about the skill and practicing and putting it into practice. And then Friday's lesson is a focus on the novel Brightstorm, chapter 3, where you will be applying the skill that we've learned today. Okay, so this week we are thinking about vocabulary. So particularly giving the meaning of words in different contexts. So we always come across words that we don't know the meaning of, and it's us giving you the skills so that you can use the words and phrases around it, so the context, to work out the meaning of that unknown word. So this means that you use the story so far, the sentence around them, and what they already know, or what you already know, to figure out the plot, to figure out what the word must mean. We've done these questions before, and this is just a recap of the different types of questions that you may see when they're asking you to apply this skill. So, for example, let me just go back. We have got the closest in meaning to. So this is the one, you've seen this question before, where you cross through or do a little cross next to the ones that you don't understand, so process of elimination, to work out the word that it could be. Sometimes you'll be left with a 50-50 chance, and that will help you to get to the closest in meaning. It's a good way of thinking that they are synonyms of one another, but the context is also important, because sometimes there may be a synonym of another word, which a synonym is obviously a word that has a similar meaning, but actually, because of the context, the synonym doesn't fit. You've got the alternative wording question, where it might ask you to give an example of a phrase in the text, or give you an example of the phrase in the text and ask you to tick another way that they could have written it. Defining what something means, finding and copy. I go on about this all the time, so hopefully you already know where I'm going with this. When you have a find and copy question, if it says one word, you need to find that word and you need to copy it letter by letter. And you also need to make sure that you are only copying one word. That's why they're in bold, because they're key, okay? So often we look at these questions, and instead of copying one word, there may have been a whole sentence copied, and we can't give you the answer for that. Similarly, if it says a phrase, obviously a phrase is a group of words, or find and copy a group of words that tells you that the drinks, etc. It means that all you have to do is locate the word. So it's in the text. All you've got to do is find it and copy it exactly. There might be a multiple choice one, and it'll ask you to find two or more words or phrases within the text that mean or show the same thing. So that will be synonyms. Sometimes you're asked for antonyms, so words that mean the opposite. Multiple choice, it'll ask you to choose from one of the answers provided, circling your choice clearly. And it actually advises there, if you circle the wrong one, you can just rub it out. We won't be doing this today. Or cross through it and then recircle another one. So the types of things that they might ask if it's a vocabulary question. So what does this word tell us about the character, setting or atmosphere? Look at that sentence passage and circle a word phrase that means the same as. And I'll talk about this, if it says within a sentence or a paragraph, don't look elsewhere. It has to be in that sentence or that paragraph. Do not go to another section. Which word or phrase gives us the impression that the main character is? Why did the author use this word to describe? What might that mean? And what do you think the author is saying when they write such and such? So Victor Vocabulary helps you. Oh, 1 second. I skipped a couple of answers. Right, so we'll go back to that at the end. This is the text. So if you'd like to pause the video here and read through the text. Alternatively, I will read it for you. So pause the video. I'd like you to try and read it yourself. In an age long ago, a mighty ship loaded with pleasure seekers was sailing from North China to Shanghai. High winds and stormy weather had delayed her, and she was still 1 week from port when a great plague broke out on board. This plague attacked passengers and sailors alike until there were so few left to sail the vessel that it seemed as if she would soon be left to the mercy of winds and waves. Of all travellers aboard, only one boy named Ying Lo had escaped the plague's wrath. He found himself alone at sea, shivering with cold and soaked to the skin by the giant waves which towered high above the deck. He watched as the ship's ruptured sails flapped about wildly like great broken wings and prayed that he may be taken from the dreadful ship before the plague decided his fate. Okay, so you can pause the screen here